Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey, here for another Power Book to Go Season 4, final season reanalysis. Yeah. Listen, this is episode 2, so much better than episode 1. It's almost like they're listening to us, or as content creators, or they have a bona fide plan. I don't think that's it, but okay. Episode 2 is entitled To Thine Own Self. And it's really an episode that sort of provokes reflection. Not from everyone, but definitely from Monet and from Tariq and Brayden. Maybe a little bit of Drew. Maybe a little bit of Diana. Nothing from Kane. Kane is always on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the dog they keep tied up outside. Like, he has no idea really what's going on inside of his own home. But we're going to talk about it. Listen, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Please remember to like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share the video, and comment down below. Now, today, I'm going to be sitting around listening to my daddy crack peanuts all day. So I have nothing to do but answer back on all the comments, right? Full conversation in the comments like we like to do, okay? So look forward to that. Comment down below, you guys. We're going to talk about Monet last and Janet because we kind of end the episode with Monet. But let me just catch you up on everybody else, right? First and foremost, Monet's got her cousin there, Janet. Janet is played by Golden Brooks. Golden, what you got on your lips, girl? I mean, I can see that you got that upper, you know what I'm saying, pull together, which I'm not mad at. That upper look good, you know what I mean? But what's happening with them 500 cc's in both your upper and your lower? You didn't need 500, okay? You should have let them people do like 250 on you. You know what I'm saying? Do like 150, 175 and see what it gives. And then if you want to do a little bit more, do a little bit more, girl. But you can't just be coming up in here with 500 cc's in both your upper and your lower. No, ma'am. And what is going on with that Wet n Wild? What is that? Wet n Wild 503 creamsicle? Girl, I feel like I know that from the 90s. That's some old Wet n Wild. That's old Wet n Wild creamsicle shimmer. Huh? A peach shimmer. I don't like it. I don't like it. Who told you to make the skin, the lips, and that shirt the same color? It is unbecoming. You shouldn't have let them do you like that, Golden. Now you got history. You got tenure in the acting game. You ought to be able to bring your own wig and your own lips to the table. You get what I'm saying? You ought to be able to tell them people, nah, let me see, let me get something with a little bit more fuchsia in it. You know what I mean? Anyway, Monet's cousin Janet is here, and she's taking care of Monet. And Monet has lost a kidney, okay? That's what's going on with her. We also need to keep in mind that it is exactly 1 month later. From episode 1 to now, it has been 30 days. So everybody has progressed forward in their attempts to continue to keep the Uggs going and the uns going and all of the debauchery and everything. But Tariq and Brayden are on hard times. You know, Brayden ain't got nowhere to stay, so he's sleeping over there at Tariq's dorm. Now, Tariq, because he fooled everybody into thinking he didn't have nothing to do with Detective or Agent Young's demise, they said, well, you can stay in school, okay? But you ain't got no money, you ain't got no funds, you're going to have to get student loans, right? So they gave him housing and student loans, but in exchange, he got to work 3 jobs. See, he ain't got no more money. That's what happened to the money they got out the wall. Now, I don't know if they parlayed it. I mean, obviously, you wasn't using it to buy work that you could then put out on the street and flip that joker. What did you do with the money in the bag? What was that for? You driving an old Cutlass that's gonna cut out on you. You live in a dorm. You work 3 jobs. They making him work 3 jobs, 2 of which got a uniform. So you can't be standing around acting like you just visiting. No, you work here and get that mop, right? He got them kind of jobs. And everybody lets him know you broke. You're broke. You're poor. You're unfortunate, right? So Brayden go back to his mama and them house and look around a little bit, and his daddy see him and go back inside. They moving. They say they got to get from around here because there's too many ninjas that know where they live. But they don't even acknowledge him. The daddy don't even acknowledge him, and he's so sad about that. But your daddy is a racist. Your daddy's a racist and a misogynist and a xenophobe and all of these things. I mean, but he's still your daddy, I guess, child. I guess. Okay. So he's feeling bad about that. Now, he ain't too bad off because he still got him a good job. I don't know why he can't get him a good apartment, too. Okay, you can take that housing off of there. If y'all go in on an apartment, you can take that housing from Stansfield off of your bill, Tariq. Brayden selling real estate for his cousin. Okay, he sell real estate. So he got him a job, you know what I'm saying, dressing like old 9-to-5er or regular Joe. But he also is a sort of pariah there at the school. He doesn't go there. But anything that had the name Western on it is being taken off because his dad and them stole folks' money, stole folks' pension and savings and things and 401k and whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, his name is Mud around that school. All right. So they belly aching. They broke, they busted, they disgusted. Tariq said, man, this sucks. I'm supposed to be the smartest person in the entire universe. Everybody know Tariq St. Patrick has got the biggest brain out of everybody in this world. And I can't believe I let myself get caught up in this situation. I can't believe you ain't got no more money. I can't believe you. What did you do with that money? Y'all hit the clubs? You ain't bought nothing. You stay in the dorm. Where's the work? You're not working. Where the money go? Don't pick at it. Don't pick at it, honeybees. Y'all know we don't pick at scabs around here. It just leads to disappointment. Okay? Listen. Detective Carter is breathing down Tariq's neck. He breathing down everybody's neck, and we gonna talk about it. But listen, like I said, Tariq's supposed to be smarter than everybody else. He back in class. The class is about evil in leadership. Can evil leaders effectively lead or something like that? You know, it's just all sort of the lineup conversation that lines up Tariq to say something prolific. It never really comes out as prolific, but it does pertain to the storyline, so we gonna keep going. Now, Effie in the class too, and Bruchandria, she do her little spiel, and then they have a random white person do their little spiel, and then Tariq comes in and gives his prolific word, and then, but this time, Effie was like, hold that thought. You know, and she counters it. And then when they leave out of class, she tells him to hold up a minute. She want to talk to him. And so he is not giving Effie an inch. He does not give Effie an inch. Okay? Now, he back at his job. And here comes Detective Young. Shows up at his job to rattle Tariq. Right? This at like a little nightclub, the club at the schoolhouse, you know. he come around there to question him and talk bad about his daddy. You know, he just trying to get a reason to lock him up or to arrest him or trip him up in conversation. Tariq is smarter than that. And so before he walks off, he tells him, what about your mama? See, what about your mama? What about my mama? You know I can't see my mama. If you smart and you know as much as you say you know I can't see my mama. He was like, well, if you want your mama to be able to stay in WITSEC and stay protected, then you know what I'm saying, you might think about talking to me. Tariq, you know, blows it off and goes immediately to see his mom. I was like, what if that was the goal, Tariq? You go immediately to the Wally World or the Dollar General where she working with that awful wig child. And he goes over there and he talks to her. You can't come back to New York. I don't want you in New York. Obviously, she's not 45 an hour, 2 hours away. I mean, you got 3 jobs. I don't know how you went further than that. Okay. Can't come back to New York. She was like, I got a good job. You know what I'm saying? I got to try to keep a roof over me and Yaz's head. Now, he done went to the house first, and Yaz told exactly where her mama is. And went down there to the Dollar General, where he found out that she has, you know, gotten in a little bit of trouble with the WITSEC people. And they say if she mess up one more time, they're going to side out the program. And he also notices that her co-worker or supervisor or something is real handsy with his mama. And so he tell his mama he love her, but she can't come back to New York. Stay safe. You stay safe, son, too. Are you in trouble, son? Do you need me? And he was like, no, I don't need anything except for you to be safe. We love you. We love you. He walks off, meets the man in the parking lot, broad daylight, and stomps on the man's hand with his pinky toes. You can't really hurt nobody's hand unless you put your heel in it. And when he put his foot down, it wasn't nothing but pinky toes. You know, it's okay. It's okay. You know, y'all know. Anyway, and he just tells her, if you talk to my mama, if you let my mama know, if you, he call her Brenda or something. You hurt Brenda again, or let Brenda know that I hurt you for hurting her. I'm gonna come back and burn your whole house down with your entire family in it. I was like, oh, you are angry. That was frightening. And the man just like, oh, I was like, get up, get up and walk it off. So, he goes through all that, and like I said, he's broke, busted, and disgusted. He got this stuff going on with his mom. He's thinking, the only way I'm gonna be able to get up out of all of this is if I go back to work. And after some back and forth with Brayden about wanting to be a regular college student, wanting to get out of the game, all this, that, and the other, he decided, Mother Duck Noma, I'm finna do this work. And Brayden is like, you know, Noma is scary. I'm like, not without those 20-year-olds. She's not. And Brayden confirms for us that they're 20-year-olds. Everybody except Kane. Okay? They're all 20-year-olds. Right? And, he was like, we're going to figure out a way to do this, and we're going to do this better than ever. And Brayden was like, I thought you wasn't smart anymore. And he was like, nah, I feel like my synapses ended firing again, and I feel like I can pull off a whole season 4 stunt. And he was like, Brayden was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, let's do that. And so this is the decision they make, and they start out on this rebel kamikaze, everybody be darned, we about to go hard in the paint storyline by first taking his car back from 2-Bit. Now, he must have a track on the car, and so they found him at a vegan place, and he has a spare key, and he gets in and drives off, and 2-Bit runs out and says, hey, my car, you're stealing my car. And in a very funny moment, Tariq says, shh, Ninja, this my car. Not to him, but out loud peels off, right? So he's gotten his car back, which is good because the Cutlass put him down, right? All right. So there's that. We're going to visit just the conversation between him and Monet in a little bit. All right. So, Drew and Diana. Drew is running around behind Kane. They're supposed to be looking for who. The only person that's really looking for who, tried to ventilate Monet is Kane. Kane's not in on the story. And I forgot to mention that. He thinks it was Tariq. But since Diana recanted that, all right, and Drew is making him stand by it, and Noma, because Noma said nothing can happen to Tariq, right? So convenient. Drew is trying to keep Kane from killing everybody, thinking they did it. I mean, somebody might look at him side eye, and he wanna, break their legs, right? But he's going through a lot, because in the same time that he want his mama gone, he have to take care of her too. And look like he not the one that had something to do with her almost ventilation, right? You know what I'm saying? Pow pow. And he's also very angry, and so he does not hesitate to let her know she got some gall. You got some gall in trying to act all motherly. You've never been motherly. You've never, it's all about you. I thought you would at least have some introspective moment after almost being unalived on the table, right? And she is like, oh, Drew, don't be this way. And he was like, you're disgusting. He goes back to the kitchen, and he's got to get her pills. I got to get your pills, right? And he's thinking about giving her too much, right? She's very cognizant, so I'm not sure how you're going to get this lady too much, but apparently you had 15 seconds to come up with a plan that you think is going to be a good one. No, it's going to get you locked up. Diana, fortunately for him, catches him contemplating ODing her, and stops him and has a deep conversation about, he's like, she's a monster. I know she's a monster, but we don't have to be a monster too. He was like, but I really, really hate her. And she was like, I hate her too, but we've got to do what's right. We've got to be better than her. Well, Monet overhears all of it, right? Which means she would have caught you putting too many pills. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's not worth it, okay? But she overhears it, and it just, instead of being her normal angry Monet, she is just like, oh. And then Diana is obviously missed her cycle. She goes to the store and gets a pregnancy test, and takes the test and finds out that she, the test says positive. She goes to the doctor. The doctor confirms it. The doctor also talks her out of having this idealistic thought process about what having a child is. And Diana, of course, feels like she's telling her, hey, don't deliver, right? And she gets upset and she storms out. So, we have been talking about it on the podcast, on the TSF podcast, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be on there tonight because it's Papa's Day, but we'll see. But we've been talking about who could it be, and I thought for sure that it was Effie, and I still hope I'm right, but it looks like it's going to be Diana, right? So if it is, y'all gonna have to really ventilate Monet, because especially if you have a son. Monet, baby, she's not finna let y'all raise that child. She couldn't be my baby grandmama. No. She too controlling. But later on we get to see where Monet talks to Janet and just says, hey, do you think I ruined my kids? And Janet is like, listen, you were a good mom, the best mom you could be at the time, and with everything that you had. And so Monet just starts kind of reflecting, like, I thought I was making them stronger. I thought I was making them better. I thought I was preparing them for the world. Like, I don't know how, as drug dealers and powers, and you know what I'm saying, like, teaching Diana to use her body and her feminine wiles to get what she wants, like, not wanting her to go to school. Like, how were you preparing her for this world, friend? How? You keeping them around all these thugs, and you know what I'm saying, like, you having them go out and commit ventilations for you. You know what I'm saying? Ventilations on your behalf. Like, how did you think you was raising them well? But Drew overheard all of this, and he has this moment, this soft spot where he was like, at least you're having the conversation. At least you're having a conversation. And it softens his heart, and he is reconsidering just all of this vitriol and venom that he had for his mom. All right? Drew and Diana, listen. Effie got Moxie. Effie got Moxie. Okay? Effie goes to, confronts Tariq after class, right? And she is like, would you listen for a second? He was like, no. What do we have to talk about? She was like, look, my back was against the wall, and it was me or you, me or tell the truth, which is you knew where Anya is, Noma's daughter, who we don't get to see in this episode at all. And he was like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? And she was like, this is what I had to do, but I made it up to you by letting you know that Kane was on school grounds, and he was trying to ventilate you. And she said, so are we good? I was like, no, that's not how apologies work. That's not how any of this works, Effie. You gotta finesse a little bit more. You gotta finesse a little bit more. But she realizes now she can't finesse him like she already did that finessing on Tariq. And Tariq wiser on it. It worked on Kane, but not on Tariq. Right? She gotta make it seem like it don't matter to her if he forgive her or not. But why are you here, Effie? You don't chase behind nobody. He don't want to be with you. He don't want to be with you. Okay? You need to be working on doing the things that get him to come to you, not for you to go chasing after him. All right? And she also pushing Diana around, right? She's supposed to be kind of in charge. The funny thing is they're positioning her like she's going to be the number 2 to Noma, because Obi ain't long for this world. And that's crazy, because we've never really seen Effie like in a shootout or like armed hand-to-hand combat. I don't think we ever seen Tariq in hand-to-hand combat either. So, I mean, being somebody second in charge, you got to be able to do a little muscle too. But the girl is smart. The girl is smart. They try to play her out like she a Suzuki sidekick, but she definitely a G. She definitely a G. Okay. She go to Noma and tell Noma she thinks she deserve a bigger cut. She doing more work than everybody else. She bringing in more money. You know what I'm saying? I need the money. And Obi tried to speak up, and Noma's like, zit. Right? You got Moxie. I was like, okay, Moxie. Okay. And she tell her, she's like, well, you know what? I want the Russians. I want to go into business with the Russians, which the Hadas don't want. Well, Monet mostly don't want that, right? Because she done made connections with them, and I don't know the reason why the Russians can't supply both of them, but apparently it is not traditionally done. And Obi done already told Noma the Hadas not gonna like it, and she's like, mother buck the Hadas, mother buck them, right? Now, so the Effie's coming. She was like, let me put you to the test, 20-year-old. Go to the Russians and get the Russians to have a meet up with me. And Effie does just that. She goes down to the Russians because she's a hacker, and she barters, changing the head of the Russian mob's daughter's swim time to get her on the Princeton swim team, which is all she want, and that's all he want to do to make her happy. Now, I'm not really sure why, if you were Ruski, you don't already have a hacker on your team. But don't pick at it, okay? Effie goes down, and they kind of tighten up on her a little bit, but she stands her ground. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, she in here. She in here with it. And yeah, she ends up getting the you know, the meetup, right? At the same time, Kane is, I don't know where he got the information from, but he lets Monet know that Noma is trying to get in good with the Russians, all right? And so when Effie brings the Russian guy there to meet Noma, Monet is there. But we'll talk about it, child. Okay. Effie is also trying to get back in school. She's trying to be a part of the engineering program. It's something she really wants to do. She has a heart for it. Her teachers are encouraging her to do it, or professors, and she wants to do it. But because Monet was there, and it just ruined the whole thing. The Russian was like, I don't want to see none of y'all ever again anymore. And so when Kane goes to see Noma, Obi try to mollywop him up, and he tells this is what it was. Because Monet ruined the first meetup with the Russians, she makes Kane responsible for it and wants him to go down. Now, the minute they see him, they gon' pow. But I don't know why, if they got a relationship with your mom, but it's okay, whatever. And so when it's time for her to go take this test and do her application and stuff for class, Effie can't do it because she got to go help Kane, because he's told her that if this how men hold you back, huh? This how men hold. This is controlling, manipulative behavior. You think you finna go and you finna be better in this life and leave me behind? Oh no. Oh no. I need you here. Okay, somebody else. I don't know them. I want you to do it. Right? And she was like, I can't do it. He was like, fine. You know, like all the stuff I done did for you, this how you gonna do me? You gonna leave me to die? You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. And she was like, that, whatever. And so she decides to go help him. And her idea now is to also provide pows to the Russians. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get in the snort, sniff injection game, but we also gonna get into the pow game with you. So that's double the money you gonna be making. Of course, the Russians love her, and they let her know that's fine. But going forward, I only deal with you, Effie, Foxy Moxie Effie, right? I only deal with you. Okay, and I don't really blame them, because the way she laid that baby hair, very authentic. Very, very authentic edges. Okay, I would be down with Effie too. Like I said, Effie got heart. Okay, now she done miss her class. This how you get suckered, Effie. This how you get suckered. Right? You should have gathered your stuff and went somewhere where you can really, really make a difference away from all these troublemakers. But no, that's not what you do. And I'm afraid this is signifying, especially if she's not pregnant as well, it kind of signifies Effie might be fodder for this season. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. All right, so now we'll talk about Noma. Like I said, Noma said, but the Tejadas. And she also asked Obi about them green cards. I mean, out of all the things that they do, why they're focusing on these couple of green cards that Tariq was able to score, like, it's just bizarre. I mean, she's a major worldwide international criminal, and Detective Young is going with green cards. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go with green cards. Let's go with green cards, people. Okay. So, she bring it up to Obi. Like, I hope you not out here doing some weird things with these green cards. You asked me about them green cards, and then you magically got them. He was like, I went through the right channels, ma'am. I went through the, federal agencies, ma'am. And she was like, because I don't need nobody sniffing around about no green cards. He was like, you don't have to worry about it. And she sends him on his way. He goes downstairs, and who's there to rattle his cage? Detective Carter. He asked him a couple of questions about green cards or this or that. I have no idea why he arrested him. just arrested him. I was like, don't you have to have probable cause or witness him committing a crime of some sort? No, you just finna arrest this man. Now you shook Davis down. You shook Tariq down. But Obi, you arrest him. Okay. So arrest Obi going down to the clink, right? Where he's going to be questioned. Now, it ain't going to look good. It's not going to look good. Okay. And I just don't understand. He done sold, sniff injections and pows. And he's committed, red rum. And he being shook down about green cards. But okay. Anyway, like I said, Kane is lost in the sauce. Okay. He's the only one that really cares about really who tried to ventilate Monet. And she treats him like crap. I mean, she treats him, like I said, like the dog that they keep chained up outside. Like, she hollers at him, kicks him in the nuts, what I'm saying, thumps his nose, pinches the fatty side of his underarm, like whatever she can do to cause him pain and torture and abuse, verbally or otherwise, that's what she does. And she does it in front of other people. And he has this really great moment in this episode where she told him to get the deuce out of his house, when he was like, it could be Diana, or he said in front of them, it could be Drew or Diana. It could be either one of them that tried to unalive you, mama. And she was like, you stupid so-and-so. Diana was in the car with me when it happened. Get the deuce out of my house, Kane. He was like, get the deuce out of my house, Kane. Get the deuce out of my house, Kane. I don't know how to communicate, Kane. I was like, wow. Wow. For a bull in the china shop, old dog, barking dog that they keep tied up in the back, that was pretty prolific. That was pretty prolific. I enjoyed that from Kane. I still feel sorry for Kane. I do. I feel sorry for him that he is not treated just a little bit better about his mom. Especially since in this episode, all we see are flashbacks of Monet being a mom as a young girl to Kane. So there's a little irony there, and the juxtaposition between who she was then and who she is now towards Kane is very, very telling. I would love to know what y'all think about it down in the comments below. So, we see where, he is just doing his best to just focus on finding out who tried to ventilate his mom, and he gets no appreciation for it. Davis is doing reps and representatives. I hope that they're going to give us a little bit more, even though I love seeing muscles and dark chocolate nipples. I want to see a little bit more from Davis than him just being, a push, pull. You know what I'm saying? Like a friend with benefits, right? We need to, it's just, I don't know. We see where Detective Carter goes to see him and tries to shake him down, but Davis is a good mouthpiece, and he works very, very hard at getting his clients off. Most of them are criminals, so he got to be quick with it. So even though Detective Carter lets him know that the reason his law license is suspended is because he's the one that's holding it up, Davis doesn't budge. He doesn't bend, right? And Detective Carter gives Davis a ultimatum and just lets him know, if you turn on Tariq and the St. Patrick's, I will I'll lift your law license suspension. You know, I was like, child. When we first see Detective Carter, you know, he's smoking a cigarette and he is like, he's just giving a scrunched up face, like I'm tough as leather. I've been in the game 1900 years. He's got a team of Caucasians working for him, and you know he's just giving us, you know, gritty, grimy detective. Okay, let's talk about Monet now. Okay. Listen, like I said, Monet done lost a kidney, so that's what happened to her when she was in the hospital. She got her cousin Janet there, who I thought was going to be a queen pin, but it turns out she's just like Janet from around the way. It's fine. Like I said, the kids acting like, none of them acting like they don't know, except for Kane. Kane really does not know, and he really does not know. He's not in on the whole scheme, right? Monet is... You know, she needs to be somewhere sitting down and resting, but she doesn't. She is constantly trying to leave the house, going off, standing up, barking at folks, the whole nine. And she's kind of relapsing here and there. When she goes down to bust up the whole Russian meat, she didn't go to bust up the Russian meat per se, or maybe she did. Maybe she did. But anyway, she acted like she didn't know why she was there. I think she was just there to confront Noma, and it happened to be at the same time that the Russian meetup was happening. Well, after she do all of this and the guns are drawn and they go back and forth, she passes out. And Effie takes her back home. You know, she did that on Kane's behalf, really. And get your mama up all crumpled up in the street. Plus, I get to drive the G-Wagon. And take your mama home. And, she has a lot of flashbacks. We get to see young Monet and young Lorenzo. And Lorenzo was pushing a little weight back then, but it wasn't enough for Monet. Where they lived wasn't like the safest spot. It had bugs and stuff like that. And she wanted more for her son. And this looked like Kane was her firstborn. So that means Kane is older than Zeke. And it's just weird. We don't really know what like transpired. I did enjoy this small glimpse because she was a go-getter back then. Like, she went over her man's head and got some pounds of snort, and for him to sell to make more money to get them out of there. Now, you know, I was like, okay, so Lolo was whipped, or Lolo was, you know what I'm saying, was he that sprung over her? Because most Latin men don't really take too kindly. Now, he does buck up at her when she gets pulled over by the cops and has the pow that was in the glove box, hides it in the side of the baby stroller, you know, the car seat. And he does give her what for about putting his son in danger, that type of thing. But yeah, I don't know a lot of Latin men or Latin descent or Spanish descent or whatever that would allow a woman to just take over like that and run him like that, especially since your reputation is everything in the streets, right? Like this, it gives off this air of weakness that you don't want out there, right, Lolo? But okay, we get to see that. But they're telling you from this perspective that she's always been a take charge, go get her, get what you want type person. And really, it's about her being controlling. It's about her, instead of bending in the places that she needs to bend in order to be a good wife and a mother, she's just like, no, this is what I want, and this is how you're gonna make it happen for me. Like the same thing with the kids. We don't see the other kids, we just see her with Kane. I don't know if Janet was the person that raised Zeke, because they never, literally don't bring up Zeke, right? So where Zeke came in at? Where did Zeke come in at? Because here in this episode, it looks like Kane was your favorite, your firstborn and your favorite. So I'm just thrown off. But anyway, So we see her flashing back and forth in that way. Like I said, she's pushing people around. She doesn't want to sit down somewhere and get well. She's busting up meetups. She's passing out, still cussing people out as they try to fuss over her and help her and everything. We see where she does have this heart-to-heart with Drew, and he does seem to soften up a little bit, which seems to make her happy. She doesn't care. She knows that Kane is gonna just be behind her, sniffing behind her, even though she thinks that he's up Noma's butt. But the reason why he's climbing up Noma's butt is because you keep pushing him away. And so in this episode, we see where Noma takes him in. Noma likes what he has to say. You know what I'm saying? And she want to have a glass of scotch with him. So if you lose Kane to Noma, it's because your behavior, Monet. It really is. So at the end of the episode, we see where she is meeting up with Tariq. Tariq pulls up in 2Bit's car. And they both agree that they're going to keep their pieces because they're pals because they don't trust each other. And he gets in the car in the G-Wagon with her, and he was like, I did not try to kill you. And she was like, well, if you didn't do it, who did? And he was like, I don't know, but it wasn't me, and I want to know why you trying to go after my mama. And she was like, what are you talking about? Kate Egan told me you was trying to go after my mama. Why are we bringing Kate up? Why are we doing this? Where is this going? I know we ain't finna have no Kate Egan episode. Like, come on. What? And she is like, who is this grimy, dirty, so-and-so piece of crap, that's telling you all these lies? Why would I do that? I don't even know your mom. And he is like, that's what she told me. That's all I can say is that she did tell me that you was trying to get after my mom. And she was like, I want to know who this dirty backwoods, dirty feet, Kate Egan is. You know, and because I'm finna straighten that, bop. So I was like, okay, so Tommy's coming back, obviously. And the episode goes off. I don't know where we're going with that, but I did enjoy this episode so much more than I enjoyed the first episode. Even though the first episode was supposed to give us adventure, to me, this episode gave us a little bit more backstory. We know that they're in their 20s. We know that it's a month later. We know a little bit more about Detective Young and everything that's going on there. Noma is still giving me meow. Like, I'm not scared of Noma. I don't know why anybody would be. But we're going to see what happens when Tariq and Brayden start distribution again. I want to see a little bit more from Effie. What is Diana going to do? Like, she's beset on all sides. And when Effie is trying to rule over her and tells her, you need to put more work in. You need to be selling more. You need to be doing more. And she was like, I got a lot on my plate. And Effie was like, everybody do, girl, but this the game. Now get it together. Okay? Either you're going to do it the right way or you're going to do it at the end of a gun. I mean, pow. So, she's just got a lot going on. I was like, girl. And now is not the time to tell Tariq. I'll wait till my 3rd or 4th trimester before I try to tell somebody. I mean, I don't know how many trimesters it is, but I wouldn't say nothing now. I mean, really, the only person you could tell it. No, you can't tell Drew because Drew with his tiny hands. What about when Drew came running around breaking people's arms and he got Drew holding them for the back? I was like, who was in charge of this scene? Drew could barely get his arm around the guy. The guy was slightly taller than him, and so you see him take a leap and grab the man from the back. He's barely got his hands around him, but you're holding him so good that Kane can just wrench his arm and break it at the elbow. I was like, child, y'all be putting too much on these weak behind characters. I mean, it was good to see a little bit more brutality, like from the first season. But it's just not believable. It's not being done effective. But I'm not going to complain too much. I like the episode. I'd love to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Oh, child, Drew and them tiny hands and them tiny arms. Like, y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Listen, until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.